The Western animation landscape has changed a lot over these couple of years. From the beautifully 3D animated Into the Spider-Verse films to Puss in Boots and The Last Wish, these films are pushing the boundaries of animation, proving that audiences are hungry for a unique style. However, no matter how many animated films come out, whether 2D, 3D, stop motion, there has always been one movie in this genre that has always stayed with me, and that movie is Coraline. Based on Neil Gaiman's novella, Coraline tells the story of a young girl who discovers a parallel world that seems perfect until its dark secrets start to emerge. Gaiman's book was the first book I read as a kid where I had to put it down due to its terrifying nature. I picked up the graphic novel again once I heard of it, but to my horror, it wasn't any better. As Laika Studios' first feature film, Coraline set the foundation for a new era of stop-motion animation. Laika emerged from the remnants of Will Vinton Studios, a pioneering stop-motion company that specialized in claymation. After financial struggles in the early 2000s, the studio was restructured when Phil Knight, co-founder of Nike, invested in the company. His son, Travis Knight, later took on the leadership role, transforming Laika into a powerhouse of modern stop-motion animation. Since Coraline, Laika has gone on to produce critically acclaimed films such as Paranorman, The Box Trolls, Kubo and the Two Strings, and Missing Link. One of the key reasons Coraline has endured for over 14 years is the sheer craftsmanship behind it. Director Henry Selick, a longtime advocate of stop-motion, fought to keep the film in this medium, despite initial plans for a live-action adaptation. With Coraline, he and his team pushed stop-motion further than ever before. Every puppet, set, and tiny detail was built by hand, and the level of craftsmanship is staggering. Now, I'm not even remotely qualified to talk about the history of animation or animation for that matter. I can't even draw a stick figure. So, let's talk about why I like it. Coraline is scary as fuck. I remember watching billboards as a kid and seeing the pop-up cutout every time I went to the theater. Despite knowing the nature of the movie, I still asked my mom to take me opening weekend, and she did. Now, I don't know why the fuck she would listen to me. I was 8 at the time, so in turn, I had to sleep with the light on for the next few weeks. Now, Henry Selick once suggested that the film is for brave children of any age.
And my thing I say is I make scary films for brave children of all ages.
And that's putting it mildly. This is a nightmare fuel, not because of gore or cheap scares, but because of the story itself. Many films rely on shock value, but Coraline built its horror through an atmosphere of creeping dread. The idea that someone could lure you in with love and warmth, only to trap you forever, is far scarier than any jump scare. One of the most striking aspects of Coraline is that its protagonist isn't a typical wide-eyed, innocent child. Coraline Jones is stubborn, moody, and at times selfish. She's not immediately likable, but she's deeply relatable. She longs for attention from her distracted workaholic parents and resents moving to a dull new home. That emotional core is what makes her journey so compelling. When she discovers the other world, a seamlessly perfect version of her own life, it's easy to see why she's tempted by it. The colors are bright, the food is better, and her other parents shower her with affection. But the horror comes when the illusion cracks, revealing a sinister trap beneath the surface. Selick's use of stop-motion animation is breathtaking. As I've mentioned, I'm no expert. I don't know the bare basics of animation, but I do appreciate the medium of animation. The exaggerated characters' design, the way the other world subtly shifts from inviting to terrifying, the unsettling way the other mother's true form is revealed. The voice cast has also played a huge role in bringing Coraline to life. Dakota Fanning gives a natural layered performance as Coraline, perfectly capturing the curiosity, frustration, and bravery of a kid trying to navigate a world that doesn't always listen to her. However, despite how much love and effort went into Coraline, its initial box office performance was a bit underwhelming. It didn't immediately find its audience, but like many cult classics, over time it grew in popularity through home video, streaming, and recent theatrical re-releases. Beyond the film, there has been an infinite amount of fan theories going around. Over the years, people have come up with countless interpretations. There are YouTube videos online over 2 hours long explaining every single theory. Some see the other world as a metaphor for childhood escapism gone wrong, and it helps that the film's ambiguous, open-ended nature makes it a perfect subject for discussion. It's rare to find an animated film that so perfectly balances beauty and terror, but Coraline does it effortlessly. 15 years later, it still holds up as a masterpiece of stop-motion animation and one of the most unsettling animated films ever made.